All right, good morning. I'm going to start off today with a call that's not on today's log. This was a robbery call that we had on Monday evening. This was around 8:15 p.m. It was in the 700 block of South Tanglewood Avenue. We had a 21-year-old woman that was sitting in her car. She was actually waiting for a friend. While she was seated there was a guy that came up, pointed a gun at her, basically ended up getting her keys, her cell phone, which he broke, and then her wallet that had personal documents in it, as well as some cash. He then took off running after that. So he was threatened with the gun, or she was threatened with the gun, but he did not try to take the car or anything like that. So no injuries as far as that goes. We had that report that night, didn't really have much information at all, just kind of vague description. We had detectives with the violent crime unit that started looking into this, and surveillance video was a big part. They were able to use neighborhood surveillance video and some traffic cameras to figure out the vehicle that the suspect drove in, and then they ended up finding that vehicle on Tuesday afternoon. There was a traffic stop that was made. The driver of that vehicle was the suspect in this case. He had a handgun with him. We believe that was the same gun that was used during the robbery. And he was arrested for first-degree robbery, aggravated assault, and intentional damage to property, which, like I said, was a cell phone that was broken. This is a little unusual case because there is really no connection between the victim and the suspect, but we were able to get an arrest in a short amount of time thanks to the great work of the property crimes detectives and the violent crime unit detectives. And do you want his name?
Yes, please.
His last name is Ismail, Ismail. First is Adam, Adam. Middle, I'll spell it as Abdalshafee. And he's 21 from Sioux Falls.
So do we know where he came from? I mean...
No, there's... based off of the investigation and being able to use the surveillance video in the neighborhood, he obviously drove there. How she was targeted, that we just really don't have any information on that.
Did you guys locate the personal documents that were taken from her wallet?
Yeah, there was quite a few things that were found inside the car. Some of those personal documents that were in her wallet were found in the car, along with clothing that matched what the suspect was wearing at the time of the robbery. So that was just all part of it, but there was a lot of different pieces that added up that pointed to Ismail being the suspect in the robbery.
Did she live in the area in which her car was parked?
I don't think so.
Or did she clarify reason as to why she was parked there?
She was waiting for a friend. Yeah, she does not live in that area, but she was parked waiting for a friend that lived in that area.
Okay, and then did the friend come to the car and happen to see anything as well?
No, it was just the suspect and the victim were the only two that were outside at the time.
Was it the victim that called 911, or were there bystanders that called?
No, there were no other witnesses. It was the victim that called.
And she called immediately?
Yes.
What time of day was this again?
When it happened was Monday evening, about 9:15 p.m.
And arrest was Tuesday afternoon?
Correct.
Does he live in the area?
No, he does not live in the area.
At which location or intersection was he arrested at?
It was near Benson Road and Galaxy Lane.
Was he alone in the car?
There was another person that was in the car with him at the time, but he was not charged in connection with this robbery. We don't believe that passenger in that vehicle had any involvement with the robbery.
Does the suspect have priors? I mean, does he have a history of doing things like this?
I can't go into specific details. I can say that we've had some contact with him before, but I can't give any details on what that contact is. Anything else on that? Okay. On the log, not a whole lot. The aggravated assault, that was a domestic, a strangulation case. The burglaries were houses, businesses, storage units, no arrests on any of those. The disorderlies, most of those involved juveniles. We had a few other reports, but nothing significant. The embezzlement were the reports, nothing big from the larcenies. The sex offense is a report. There's a suspicious vehicle on the log. I don't have any reports on that yet. And vandalisms, the only thing I guess of note is there was a concentration of some gang graffiti that was kind of in the area of 8th Street in Indiana. There were, I think, five different buildings that had spray paint on it, but no suspects in that and no arrests. That's it, unless you have any
Can I
questions.
ask one more clarifying
Sure.
question? Can you say one more time what the suspect stole in the robbery?
The suspect, well, so there was a few things. He took the car keys, threw those car keys, and he took her cell phone, but then he broke the cell phone. The only thing that he took from the victim specific or kept was her wallet. And obviously that had personal documents and money inside of it.
And that was found and you have it.
I don't know if all of it was found, but there was some of those documents were found inside the car.
So there was some sort of dispute between the two of them.
No, there was no dispute.
No.
He walked up with a gun and started telling her what he wanted.
And-
She fully complied with him, but he didn't take the car keys and he broke the cell phone. So obviously she didn't, I think she ended up having the friend call. I think that was, maybe should have clarified that,
And
but
how did
it
you break the cell
happened,
phone? Did you throw it or?
stepped on it.
Wow, okay, so she couldn't.
Right, so she wasn't able to call from her phone, but she was waiting for the friend. The friend came out and
Okay.
then used that friend's phone to call.
And there was cash in the wallet as well that he stole, right?
Yep.
No credit cards or anything?
I don't know if there were credit, I would imagine.
There's no charges on her credit card that he happened to make that?
At this point, I don't think there's any, I didn't see anything in the report about that, but that's one of the things that they'd probably look into if that credit card had been used at all.
Do we think that the personal documents played a role in the robbery? Is there any indication that the personal documents may have played a role, like he was actually seeking something?
It's hard to know. I mean, we're trying to delve into their mindset, the suspects, what their intent was. We just know what they did, so it's hard to know the intent behind those actions.
Sure.
Anything else? Okay, thanks.
Thank you.